In our interview with Luana, we learned her journey from growing up in a poor community in Brazil to moving to the United States and adapting to a new culture.
Hi, my name is Anthony.
My name is Azalea.
And together we're
De Los Santos!
And this is part of our series called Expert Next Door, where we kind of share our friends and family who we believe are experts and think that can provide value to you. So without too much more ado, here's the interview with Luana. See you on the other side.
So,
Bye.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, okay. I am, first of all, my name is Luana Elliot. I'm originally from Brazil. I was born in Rio de Janeiro. It's a great city, beautiful city. The people, it's very warm. I was raised in a community. I would not say it's a poor community, but it was a huge school. It was a great school in my life. I am extremely grateful for how God placed me and how He kind of showed me things in the world. So then, growing up, I did ballet for over 10 years, close to 10 years or something like that. My first job was teaching ballet for kids and teenagers. I was 17 and then I kind of emerged. I was tired of teaching kids. I was tired of beating up my body. So I was just like, I want to make money. Yeah. So I started working in retail. I worked in a mall and in a store, and it was athletic clothing. And I absolutely, loved all the products, and the technology was more like a high-end brand. It is still a high-end brand in Brazil. That was when I kind of developed a little bit of sales skills. I was 19 at the time. After 6 months working as a salesperson, I got promoted as sales manager. Awesome. Great experience because I was in a position of being a leader of people that were like much older than me. It was crazy, but what a great experience. It was fun. But then I was kind of a little burned out with the mall work schedule. It's you basically you don't have life. You work every single day. You work over 10 hours a day. Especially being a manager, you have a lot of responsibilities. And I was just like, oh no, I'm done with this. So I got a job in a construction company, and that was when I started my education in business management. That was when I went to college. So I was working in this construction company, developing projects and doing business management. It was kind of hard for me because I had all of the practice, like in sales, customer service, like dealing with money and stuff. And then I went to business school. Like you're learning basically business management, the basics. I was just like, where is the action? Come on. You guys are learning things that I already know.
This is what I'm paying for?
Yeah. It's like, and I was paying a lot of money. I was just like, hello, what is going on here? That is basically the concept of education. Going to college is really invest your money in, which I don't think it is a bad thing, but you will learn a lot more taking action, being proactive. Regarding to business management, I think it is the best school, the best college, just actually building your own business, right? So that was basically, then I met my husband in Brazil. I actually know his mother since I was 8 years old. We fell in love. A lot of things actually kind of
how old were you?
Happen.
Sorry, I missed it. You were 8 when you met his mom, but how old were you when you met your husband?
I was 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah, I met her when I was 8. She became the godmother of a nonprofit organization. I was one of the kids I was part of. The founder was my aunt, my mother's sister, and I was one of the kids in this. That's how I started ballet. That's how I started dancing, because this nonprofit, it was just aiming. The mission of this nonprofit organization, it was to do a placement of the kids that was living and was raised and was born in poor community, in schools that had great reputation. So it was a shock, because the education, especially in a third world country, which is not really that, but economically and politically kind of have all of this labeling, right? So let's just use the label. There is a lot of differences in socioeconomics. In the United States is the same, but in these countries, it's the difference. It's huge. So being a poor kid, having the access to education and interact with very very rich kids, it was a huge opportunity. It was great because I had a scholarship, but at the same time, it's a completely different mindset. So I was growing up in a poor mentality, but interacting with the rich mentality. I don't like that label, but let's use that. It is just because the only difference is the how much money they have, like in their bank account. But the education is really the whole difference of what defines the social differences. It's the access of education, and how education is being exposed. So yeah, so she was the godmother of this nonprofit organization, and every time she was flying to Brazil, we were always interacting. She kind of adopted me as one of her kids, and it was great. I never met my husband until I was 22. It was growing it up because we have a difference of 17 years. So I was legally allowed to have a relationship with him, but it was I kind of tried to run away, but it didn't work out. I felt a lot of passion the first time I saw him. But I was just like, oh, he's in the United States, I'm in Brazil, this is crazy, don't fall in this trap.
Yeah.
Run. And that's what I did, literally.
That's like the long distance relationship.
Yes. So it exactly, and it's really hard to manage. But 2.5 years later, after the first time we met, he went back to Brazil, and I couldn't run away. He set me up. Set me up for a little bit. And I went to his apartment to drink a soft drink, and that was it, and now we're married. We are getting close to our 9th year together, 9 years together. And that's how I actually moved to LA, because we were dating for about 1 year. It was a long distance relationship. It's really hard to manage all that. So I came to the United States in 2011, just to visit, but I never went back to Brazil.
Just a short visit.
Yeah. It was 6 months. 6 months later, we were married, and and nobody knew that we were going to get married. It was a secret, actually, ceremony. But yeah, 9 years together, and I am here. So so returning to answer the question about who am I had to kind of build a new identity in the United States. I kind of had to find myself, first of all, because I started working in a very young age in Brazil. I like to be very proactive. I like to make my own money. So it was really hard for me in the beginning to adapt to the American culture, to adapt to the language. I paid to feel I my education in English in Brazil. For you to get in this third world countries, you have to go to get extended education to really get a good um, education from whatever you were trying to learn. And that's the case of English and any other foreign language. It was okay, but it was not great. So when I got here, my head was pounding. I was just like every single day I was trying to understand people, or just like I can't stop people from speaking English. Just like, can you just speak Portuguese for 10 minutes so I can understand you? So for an entire year.
Yeah, I can relate with you. My stepdad, before moving here, paid for a private school in Mexico too, because I learn. And all I learned was doctor, teacher, where is the bathroom, and that's it. And I remember the first time I was in class, this girl comes up to me, she goes like, "Hi," and I was like, what did you say? And she was like, "Hi" again, and then she goes, "Hello," and I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, "Doctor?"
Yeah. It is it's a different language, but I'm really trying to open myself to learn the third language, which is Spanish. My husband, he is right now learning. He's focusing on 5 different languages. I look at him just like, whoa. But I always he has superpower, so he's different. So when I got here, it was this challenge. You just like trying to find myself in the country, just trying to adapt the culture to the culture. Because Brazilians, we are very warm. We are completely different. We're crazy people, totally crazy, nuts. And I really had to understand how to not be an American, but be American. Because I have to interact. I am in the United States, so this is what it's going to be. If you want to be with the love of your life, if you really want to be with him, you have to go through this process. Why I didn't kind of make his mind to go to Brazil, because my husband has 2 kids, 2 daughters, and the little one at that time, she was 5. And I really did not want to be that woman that take the father away, so it's just like, and I was like young, 25, I guess, or something like that. Yeah, 25. And I was just like, I'm just in school. I don't have kids. If I have kids, it is going to be with you. So, right. So I did. It was not a sacrifice. When I look back, it was not a sacrifice. It was just a learning process. And I'm very grateful that I opened myself to the process. It was not easy because all of my family, it is in Brazil, the supporting system, mom, dad, my brother, grandmother, everything that I knew, my world, it is 12 hours away. We are talking a flight, which is like pretty fast. So it was, I really had to go through a lot of emotions and work with those emotions and not kind of bring a lot of ass stuff to my husband, because in a relationship that it really creates a lot of conflict, unnecessary conflict. And I knew that those are things that I have to go through. It was my learning process. It was learning the language, learning the culture, learning body language, learning a lot of things, but not kind of not losing my identity, not saying goodbye to the person to Luana.
Did you ever feel like you didn't belong here or there anymore at one point?
I never felt this way because for me, it was never about the place. It was about being with the person I love.
Mm-hmm.
So being here or there or in Japan, it was at that moment, it was not going to make any difference. It did change a little bit. But at that moment it was just like, that's the person that I want to be with, and this is it, you know. A lot of people ask me, so what do you like most? Do you like Rio or you know, LA? Was because we lived most of our years in LA. I was just like, I don't know, it's home. It's what you make home, you know. So it is. Yeah, it's different. A lot of things are different, but I don't have a favorite. I absolutely love to go to Brazil because, you know, it's home in a when you talk about psychology and behavior and stuff. So if it's known to Luana, it's where I grew up. So I do have a lot of patterns that, you know, that my brain understands. It's like, oh, this is home. But I had to, and when we start talking about changing habits, you have to open yourself to the unknown. So that was basically what I did. And home, it is just a label. In the end, you have to home it. It's here. Yeah. It's you. It is in your brain. So that was kind of what I went through. So I'm sure a lot of immigrants, a lot of foreign people, they go through the same thing. So I don't judge myself at being special. I just open myself to to adapt to a new home.
Yeah. I think for me, I was 12 when I moved here, so I was able to adapt faster. But I did have the issue when I go back, that I feel like I didn't fit in with my culture, because I grabbed what I liked from the culture and I liked what I liked from the American culture, and I put it together. When I didn't like it with our culture, I just kind of like, you know. But then also, you know, we like to hug, we like to give kisses, and you know, we're really excited and we show all the affection, and
yes,
people look at you like like, yes, me, like, what are you doing?
Handshake?
And it's like not even a handshake, but like,
yes,
they're backing up.
yes,
And
yes.
Plus my dad is my stepdad is white, so he would tell me, oh no, you just talk to people, and he was really serious. So I was like, okay. So when I went back after a few years, I think 3 years, I was like to my family, I was doing the same thing because I got used to it, and it was just, you know, for a while I didn't feel like I fit in both sides. But then after I realized who I was, what I liked and what I didn't like, I realized that it didn't really matter as long as I knew where my heart was. Like you said, like I was telling Anthony, we can live anywhere in the world as long as I have him and we're happy. That's our home.
Yes, it's you're 100% right. And for me, like at the time too, it's just like, this is my decision. You made your decision, and I take responsibility of my choices.
Nice.
So that was just like, if you don't like the culture, hello, you just have to, you know, deal with and try to adapt and just try to see the solutions for all of this, because that was your choice. As you said in the beginning, that victim thing, I don't like that. And sometimes when I just see myself going to that, you know, to that path, I just like, hello, it was your choice. Take responsibility of your choice. I was just talking with my husband about this. So yeah.
Wasn't that awesome?
It was! If you really like that video, we really encourage you to come back. We're posting the next part of this interview tomorrow. We dive really deep into body image and her journey, kind of jumping in from ballet as a young age and what that looked like body image wise, to her career in fitness competitions, and just finding comfort in your own skin in general. So really hope you check out our video tomorrow, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye.
Bye. In this interview. Again?
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't ready.
Okay, ready?
Was that
better, but let's...
How did you feel? Was that the one and I messed it up?
Okay, ready? 1.
I was trying to hold in, I had like something in my throat and I was trying to hold in the thing and then I was focusing on that.
You look like shit. Okay, ready?
I need water, but...